Here's some propaganda that's being shopped around the internet. And keep in mind, it contains some lesser magic, bits and pieces. But by and large, this is absolute fucking propaganda. It is no different than the New Age horse shit. Remember, the New Age movement was put in place to promote the precursor to a one world religion. They're setting the stage. Your masters are setting the stage, and most people are too fucking stupid to see the forest for the trees. Most people can't think a few steps ahead, so they don't see these things for what they are. Um, there's a guy named Jose Arguelles. His last name looks like argue with Lles. He wrote some really shitty books that promote this propaganda. I'm talking about the 13-month calendar. He wrote The Mayan Factor and Time in the Technosphere. Absolute garbage. Fucking garbage.
Again, guys, there's 13.
Hold on.
This
We're getting there. What I need to appreciate, most people just, they repeat this shit, but they don't understand what a fucking circle is or where we are, what this is, how things work, etc., because they are not thinking for themselves. And I'm not going to spoon feed you all of that. But I will tell you that we do celebrate leap year approximately every 4 years. And there are 13 months, or moons specifically, in a leap year. But what the fuck is it called? It's called a fucking leap year. You are supposed to cast or step over that or ignore it. Another way to appreciate this is, have you guys ever heard of casting 9? Maybe? The ancients only taught you that, or at least that's what survived when our masters destroyed records, spirited things away, and lied to people. Leap year, in much the same way, should be looked at under that umbrella, or however I should poorly word it right now. I need to make some tea. Don't take my word for it, but yeah. 13 has to do with the center of things. It doesn't have to do with the physicality of what you and I are fucking experiencing. That's why we don't celebrate it. And that's why this is being shopped around. You could also think of the tarot death card. There are other bits and pieces you could reason out, most of which you won't find online, some of which you could figure out for yourself, all of which I could fucking teach you, but I'm looking for people who can think for themselves. Here we go.
shows that March
1 second. Motherfucker.
is actually the first month of the. This 1775 Bible shows that March is actually the first month of the year, and Sunday, yes, you heard right, is the first day of the week. Take a look. And so this right.
Well, what I should say is I usually look at March as the beginning of the year as well, because March 21st kicks off the New Year's. Technically, afterwards, right, you got the Pisces, which is March, and then you got the Aries, which is April. That's when things begin. That's when things warm up. That's when things are fucking renewed. I've said this before. Think of the expressions that were ceded to the public sphere that people don't think in terms of because people don't think. Have you ever heard of having cold feet? That's the end of the fucking year. That's the end of our physical form. Because man and the temple are reflections of one another in a number of ways. But people haven't figured that out, even though some people talk about it in a superficial sense. Have you ever heard of being hot-headed? Well, the feet and the head are connected. Now is a great time to think of a toroidal field. Now is a great time to look up at the night sky and look at the swastika turning in the night sky. The four winds. Yeah? That's Jacob the heel catcher. That's the guided stars above that duds call the fixed stars incorrectly, and they also call it the zodiac, the circle of the little animals. It's the guided stars above. And you should think of a dude in the sky, much in the same way Neo in the Matrix was said to be in the Matrix. Inside the Matrix. There's the man born inside the Matrix, blah, blah, blah. That shit's superficial garbage, promoting simulation theory, among other things. And the holographic universe of bullshit that our masters want you to repeat so they can create a one-world religion. That's why that's in the programming. They're talking about Jacob the heel catcher having to do with the guided fucking stars. And Jacob in the Bible was renamed Israel. That's why Israel, the earthly manifestation, is so important for our masters to create and burlesque. Because it's a big fuck you to the guided stars above. That's why Canaan, Palestine is under attack. I shit you not. People would know these things if they just thought for themselves, but they don't. That's bits and pieces of it, but that's what we're getting at, and that's why March is the beginning of the year, roughly enough, bleeding into Aries and April. Should come up, doesn't come up, and most people still support December 25th, despite the lack of evidence and logic behind it, because most people are not thinking for themselves, and or willing to stand up for what does reflect reality and draw a line in the sand. Instead, they ride each other's coattails and jerk each other off in the fucking circle jerk that is the truth community. Now, with that being said, that's the only lesser magic in this video. The rest of this is going to be fucking propaganda by and large.
Here is the Bible from
Here, so you can hear it from the
beginning.
beginning.
The 1775 Bible shows that March is actually the first month of the year, and Sunday, yes, you heard right, is the first day of the week. Take a look.
And so this right here is the Bible from 1775 telling us at the time that we used to have 13 months. The first month of the year is March. Look at all the way to the end, guys. There's 13 months. 13 months.
And leap year.
First day of the week, Sunday. Second day, Monday. Look at that. Seventh day or Saturday. This is the proof right here.
I've always been a curious soul, but not in the way you'd expect from scholars or historians. My explorations take place from the comfort of my own home, often late into the night, guided by the soft glow of my laptop screen. This is how I ended up watching a video by Mark Pyers on his channel, Mark Inspires. What I discovered there sent me straight down a rabbit hole. Mark presented an old Bible from 1775, and it wasn't the antiquity of the book that caught my...
Real fast, they're telling you something in this video. So most superficial people have been trained to chase rabbits, white rabbits, you know, like Alice in Wonderland, like The Matrix, 1999's The Matrix, and the list fucking goes on. They've been trained to chase rabbit holes because it's in the programming for a reason. Most people are going to follow this trend and do what they're told because most people will not think outside the box and or for themselves. We're not looking for fucking rabbit holes that go nowhere, mean nothing, and are fuck all. We're not looking for rabbit holes that are adult fairy tales that are function as fucking propaganda. What we are looking for are things that are based in replicable evidence-based research. We're looking for the roots that reflect the branches and are symmetrical by and large, because that's how reality fucking works. That's how I dress it up. That sounds like semantics to some of you, possibly. If you give it some consideration, you will see this in a big fucking way. I'm also telling you something having to do with how reality ticks without telling you how reality ticks, because that's how our masters work. And I've been employing numerous fucking tactics that they've been dishing up to the masses for more calendar cycles than I care to touch on. But people aren't picking up what they're putting down, which is why I can tell you something point blank and you won't fucking see it for what it is, because people are not fucking thinking. Now, if I was all smiles and laughs and jokes and I was blowing rainbows up your ass, you'd probably be a hell of a lot more receptive, but that's how the fucking enemy is functioning these days with their positive vibes only, cancel culture, and censorship campaigns most people have bought into instead of thinking about. Have you ever heard somebody say unalived? Well, they're catering to censorship. And most people haven't figured this out. And again, they're not willing to do the right thing. They're not willing to draw a line in the sand and fucking act like an adult. Instead, they're playing fucking follow the leader. It's any wonder 2020 to present day carried on as it did. Unabated. without question, by and large. Agendas have legs because most people are fucking stupid and they support these things. Which means most people are the fucking problem. Yes, we have masters. It's a small percentage of, assholes out there. But when you go out the door, most people you bump into, they are the fucking problem. That's why we have to challenge ourselves, challenge each other. And only by extension, and only by doing these two things, performing that function, might we ever challenge our masters. Because the goal is to know as much as they do, if not more, assuming that's possible. But right now, people think that they, or believe that they are, assume that they are so fucking enlightened that they've bought into social engineering jargon like woke, which means they don't have a clue what's going on. And they are playing follow the fucking leader. But most people assume that they got, a grip on something. Why I'm bitching. I'm gonna run out of time anyway because I was ranting.
According to this Bible, the first month...
This is propaganda. Use your brain. Look it up if you want.
...on Sunday.